I still have the receipts, the money transfers, the messages, the promises. But the farm, the land she swore was her family's legacy, turns out it was just a slideshow stolen off Google. I wasn't just scammed. I was made to feel like a savior, and that's what hurts the most. I wasn't paying for land. I was paying to feel needed. I'm sitting in this bamboo hut, and Jovelin's hand feels so small in mine. The sunset is painting everything gold, the rice paddies, the mango trees, even her face. This is it, Kenneth, she whispers, squeezing my fingers. This is my family's land. 4 generations we've worked this soil. I look out at the endless green and feel something I haven't felt in 20 years. Peace, purpose. Like maybe my life isn't over after all. It's beautiful, I tell her, and I mean it. Every word. My parents, they struggle so much to keep this place, she says, her voice breaking a little. The government, they want to take it for taxes, but this land, this is our blood, our heart. I'm thinking about my ex-wife's cold apartment in Queens, how she threw my clothes on the lawn when she found out about my gambling problem. I'm thinking about my daughter Rachel, who won't return my calls since the divorce. Here, with Jovelin, I feel like a man who matters again. We'll figure it out, I tell her, bringing her hand to my lips. We'll save this place together. She looks at me with those dark eyes, tears reflecting the dying light. You really mean that? I nod, and for the first time in years, I believe I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. This isn't just romance. This is redemption. A 67-year-old subway worker from the Bronx, finding his second chance in a Philippine rice field. I love you, Kenneth, she whispers. I love you too, I say back, and the words feel truer than any I've spoken in decades. The crickets start their evening song, and I think this might be what happiness actually sounds like. 6 months earlier, I'm hunched over my laptop in my studio apartment, scrolling through another dating site. At 67, after 30 years underground fixing broken subway tracks, I figured love was behind me. Then I see her profile, simple woman from Iloilo province. Looking for serious partner to help my family. Not interested in games or lies. Her photo shows dirt under her fingernails, a genuine smile, traditional dress. No makeup, no filters, just real. Hi, Kenneth. Her first message reads, I saw your profile. You seem like good man with kind heart. I hope we can talk. I'm used to women my age asking about my pension, my health insurance. Jovelin asks about my day, my dreams, whether I'm lonely. Tell me about your life there, I type back. She sends me pictures, muddy boots by a wooden door, her elderly parents sitting on a bamboo porch, vast fields stretching to mountains. This is my world, she writes. Very simple but honest work. My father, he has bad back now. My mother cooks for farm workers. We grow rice, vegetables, some fruit trees. But taxes are too high. Government wants to take our land. I find myself staying up until 3 a.m., calculating time zones, waiting for her messages. She tells me about typhoon season, about planting cycles, about praying for rain. I never been to America, she admits. But I think about it sometimes. Wide roads, tall buildings, very different from here. When she asks about my life, I'm embarrassed. I fix trains, I tell her. 30 years underground in tunnels, not very romantic. Hard work is always beautiful, she replies. You help people get home to their families. That's important job. No woman has ever made my job sound noble before. After 2 months of messages, she agrees to video calls. Her connection is poor, but I can see her face, hear her voice. She's always in the same wooden house, always wearing simple clothes. I wish you could see this place, she says, panning her phone toward the window. Morning here, the mist comes off the rice paddies like ghosts. I'm falling for her, hard, not just her beauty, but her world, her simplicity, her need. Kenneth, I need to tell you something, Jovelin says during our nightly call. Her voice sounds strained, worried. I can hear roosters crowing in the background. What is it? I ask, already sensing trouble. The government, they send notice. We have 30 days to pay back taxes or they take the farm. My stomach drops. How much? $6,000 American. For us, that's impossible money. My father, he's crying every night, 4 generations, Kenneth. 4 generations of my family on this land, and I might be the one who loses it. I'm looking at my bank statement on my laptop. I've got $12,000 in savings, plus my pension. What if I helped? The words come out before I think them through. No, Kenneth, I can't ask that from you. You're not asking. I'm offering. I hear her crying now, soft sounds that break my heart. You would do that? For my family? For you. For us. The next morning, I'm at Western Union, filling out forms. The clerk, a young Hispanic woman, asks if I'm sure about sending so much money overseas. It's for my girlfriend's family. I tell her, and the words feel good in my mouth. Girlfriend. Like I'm young again. I send the money and text Jovelyn immediately. 2 hours later she calls, sobbing with joy. Kenneth, you saved us. You saved my family's land. I love you so much. She sends me a photo of a legal document, all in Tagalog, but official looking. This is the land title, she explains. Now secure for 5 more years. I frame that photo, hang it next to my bed. Every morning, I look at it and feel proud. I'm not just Kenneth the retired train mechanic. I'm Kenneth the hero, Kenneth the provider, Kenneth the man who saved a family farm on the other side of the world. When can I visit? I ask during our next call. Soon, she promises. I want to show you everything, the whole beautiful farm. You'll meet my parents, see where your money went. You'll understand why this land means everything to us. I start planning the trip, pricing flights to Manila. I'm thinking about walking those fields, meeting her family, seeing the fruit of my investment. I've never felt more important in my life. My friend Gary flies down from Toronto for his annual visit. We're sitting in my kitchen, drinking coffee, when he asks about Jovelyn. Show me some pictures, he says. I'm eager to brag, so I pull up her photos on my laptop. Gary studies them quietly, the neat rows of vegetables, the perfect mango groves, the pristine farmhouse. Nice place, he says, but something in his voice makes me look up. What? Nothing. Just. Can I see that one again? He points to a picture of her parents standing beside a water buffalo. Gary pulls out his phone, does something with his fingers on the screen. Kenneth, you might want to sit down. He shows me his phone screen. It's the exact same photo, but on something called Philippine Agriculture Today, a blog post from 3 years ago titled Traditional Farming Methods in Visayas. My coffee cup slips from my hand. There's probably an explanation, I say, but my voice sounds hollow. Gary runs more photos through his reverse image search. Same results. Every single picture Jovelyn sent me is stolen from farming websites, tourism blogs, stock photo sites. Maybe she just used them to show me what her farm looks like. I stammer. Maybe her real photos weren't good quality. But I'm drowning. Every certainty I've built over 6 months is crumbling. I call Jovelyn immediately, my hand shaking. Hi, my love. She says, cheerful as always. Jovelyn, we need to talk. I found your photos online. They're not your farm. Silence. Long, terrible silence. Then crying. Kenneth, I'm so sorry. I was scared. My real farm is so small, so ugly. I thought if you saw how poor we really are, you wouldn't love me anymore. But you lied to me. I never lied about my feelings. I love you. The money you sent, it really did help my family. Just not for land taxes, for food, for medicine for my father. I want to hang up, but I can't. Her tears sound real. Her voice sounds broken. I only used those photos because I was ashamed. I wanted you to see something beautiful when you thought of me. Gary is shaking his head, making cutting motions across his throat, but I'm not thinking clearly anymore. I'm thinking about going back to my empty apartment, my silent phone, my meaningless days. Don't lie to me again, I tell her. Never again, she promises. I swear on my family's honor. 2 weeks later, Jovelyn calls with excitement in her voice. Kenneth, I have a wonderful idea. Business idea. I'm cautious now, but I listen. I want to start vegetable stand in town. Organic vegetables from small farms. Help local farmers. Make honest money. She sends me a handwritten business plan. Her English is simple, but her math looks right. Startup costs. Projected income. Timeline. I need $4,000 American to begin. But Kenneth, this is real. This is my future. Our future. I study the plan for days. It looks legitimate, and after the photo incident, I told myself I'd give her one more chance to prove herself. If I do this, I tell her, I'm coming to visit. I want to see your real farm, meet your real parents. Yes, of course, I want that too. I send the money. For 3 days, she calls every few hours, updating me on equipment purchases, vendor permits, location scouting. Then silence. For 2 full days, no calls, no messages. When she finally contacts me, her story is ready. My phone broke, water damage during rain, had to save money to buy new one. What about the vegetable stand? Still working on permits. Government here is very slow. I book my flight to Manila anyway. $800 I can't really afford, but I need to see this through. When I tell her I'm coming, she sounds nervous. So soon? Maybe wait a little bit more. Let me get business started first. I want to help you get it started. I want to be there. Okay, my love. I'm excited to see you. But she doesn't sound excited. She sounds worried. I arrive in Manila after 26 hours of travel. I'm exhausted, jet-lagged, but hopeful. Jovelyn meets me at the airport, and she's even more beautiful in person. Smaller than I imagined, younger looking. We spend 3 days in Manila, and she's affectionate, attentive. But every time I mention visiting her family's farm in Iloilo, she has a reason to delay. My father is sick right now. Better to wait. Typhoon warnings in our province. Too dangerous. Festival week in our town. Too crowded and noisy. I'm starting to feel like I'm being managed, handled. Like she's keeping me away from something. On my 4th day in the Philippines, while Jovelyn is out, meeting with investors, I make a decision. I rent a car and drive to the address she gave me months ago. It's a 5-hour drive through mountains and small towns. My GPS keeps losing signal, but I push forward. I have to know. The address leads me to a tiny barangay, barely a cluster of houses around a dusty crossroads. There's no farm, no mango groves, no rice paddies. Just a small sorry store with faded Coca-Cola signs and a few plastic tables outside. I park and approach the store owner, a middle-aged woman in a worn dress. Excuse me, do you know Jovelyn Reyes? Her family has a farm here? The woman looks confused. No Jovelyn here, no big farm in this barangay, only small gardens, some chickens. My legs feel weak. I show her Jovelyn's photo on my phone. Never seen this girl, the woman says kindly. You sure you have right place? I drive back to Manila in a daze, my hands gripping the steering wheel too tight. Every kilometer feels like waking up from a dream. By the time I reach the hotel, it's midnight. Jovelyn is waiting in the lobby, angry. Where were you? I was worried, sick. I drove to your farm. Her face changes. The mask slips for just a moment, and I see something cold underneath. What farm? The address you gave me. There's nothing there, Jovelyn. No farm, no family, nothing. You don't trust me? After everything I've shown you? After all my love? She's raising her voice now. Other guests are staring. You go behind my back like detective? You think I'm liar? I think you've been lying to me from the beginning. Her eyes turn hard. You know what, Kenneth? You're just like all foreign men. You think you can buy Filipino girl, control her, spy on her. You don't love me. You want to own me. I gave you $10,000, and I gave you my heart. But that's not enough for you, suspicious old man. She turns toward the elevator. Jovelyn, wait. Let's talk about this. She spins around, and the woman I thought I loved is gone. In her place is someone I've never seen before. Cold, calculating, done with pretending. Go home, Kenneth. Go back to your sad life. Find some American grandma who can satisfy your trust issues. The elevator doors close between us. I stand there for 10 minutes, waiting for them to open again. Waiting for her to come back. Waiting for this to be another misunderstanding. But I know it's over. Everything was a lie. I don't leave my room for 48 hours. I order room service twice and barely touch the food. Mostly I sit on the bed with my laptop, scrolling through our entire message history. 6 months of conversations that felt so real, so intimate. Good morning, my love. How did you sleep? I miss you so much, counting days until we're together. You make me feel like luckiest girl in Philippines. Every word feels different now. Not lies exactly, but performance. Like she was reading from a script playing a role. The farm photos are still in my phone. I know they're fake now, but I can't delete them. They represent something I wanted so badly to believe in: a simple life, honest love, a place where I mattered. I call my ex-wife Linda for the first time in 2 years. Kenneth, is everything okay? I'm in the Philippines. I tell her. I met someone online. I thought she was different. There's a long pause. Oh, Kenneth. How much did you lose? 10,000. Jesus, I'm sorry. I really am. Linda, do you think I'm pathetic? I think you're lonely. And lonely people do stupid things sometimes. She's right. I've been stupid. Not just naive, willfully blind. Choosing to believe because the alternative was going back to my empty apartment, my silent phone, my life that nobody needs. On my second day in the hotel, I try calling Jovelyn one last time. The number is disconnected. Her social media profiles are gone. It's like she never existed, except for the $10,000 missing from my bank account. I delete her photos, her messages, her contact information, all of it. Then, I sit in the shower for an hour, letting the hot water run over me like I can wash away the embarrassment, the heartbreak, the crushing realization that I was never anything more than a mark. Back in New York, my apartment feels smaller than before. Everything looks the same, but I'm different. Changed. I keep a folder on my desktop called Evidence, screenshots of our conversations, copies of the money transfer receipts, the fake farm photos. I'm not sure why I saved them. Maybe as proof that it really happened. Maybe as punishment. Maybe as a lesson I'm afraid I'll forget. I don't hate Jovelyn. That's the strange part. I should be angry, but mostly I'm just tired. She played her role perfectly, the innocent farm girl, the loving daughter, the woman who needed saving. And I played mine, the lonely foreigner with money, desperate to feel important again. We were both acting. The difference is, she knew it was a performance. My neighbor Mrs. Chen asks how my trip went. Fine, I tell her, educational. Gary calls from Toronto. You okay? I'm learning, I say. Learning what? That I wasn't paying for a farm. I was paying to feel needed. To feel young. To feel like my life still mattered to someone. And now? Now I know the difference between being needed and being used. I start volunteering at the community center, teaching basic computer skills to other retirees. It's not glamorous, but it's real. The thank yous are genuine. The impact is measurable. Small, but honest. Sometimes I catch myself wondering about Jovelyn, whether she's running the same game on another lonely man, whether she ever felt anything real for me, whether she remembers my name, but those thoughts come less often now. I'm 67 years old. I survived 30 years in subway tunnels, a messy divorce, estrangement from my daughter, and a romance that was never real. I'm still breathing, still standing, still capable of learning from my mistakes. The evidence folder is still on my desktop, but I haven't opened it in weeks.